The high-valued feminine way to save your marriage when you suspect your husband is cheating. Hello everyone, I'm Yvonne, your marriage and divorce coach here at Black Swan Relationship Academy. Unfortunately, infidelity is one of the biggest causes of marriage breakups. Both parties feel that because the trust is broken, that the marriage cannot go on. So they go their separate ways, at the detriment of both of them, because sometimes you wonder, could it have worked? And we never stayed long enough in order to find out. But just that the hurt at first finding out, the hurt of that which they did, doesn't enable us to trust again, because at the time of our reaction to say I want a divorce, we're acting on it's almost like we're acting on autopilot because of the pain that we that came through, that they did this. So we act on what we heard, where if we didn't act on what we heard and we just took time, and sometimes that is what we need to do, is take the time to actually assess what has taken place, to know what is going on, then, you know, there is something that can be done to save it. I should say that in order for a marriage to survive infidelity, I do believe it can work. I truly believe with all my heart that marriages who have gone through infidelity can work. And how they work is when the two people come together and they decide, you know what, whoever made the mistake made it, but I want this to work. Not only do I want it to work, let us do it together. You will have to go to, find someone who does couples counseling who specializes in divorce and infidelity. These are and they will be able to give you the tools that is necessary in order for the marriage to come back together and grow. I say all that to say this: I don't want you to think that you find out on Tuesday that your husband or spouse did this and think that on Wednesday that you're going to get back together and make it work. This is after can take place even after a period of separation, where you can come back together and decide that, you know what, we've had this time apart, everybody has calmed down and they've had a time to think. So from here we can do something. From here we can decide how we're going to take this forward. I still want us to try to make it work. The Bible says that two cannot walk unless they agree. So unless the two of you come together and decide we're going to save this, then that's the only way that it's going to work. And it's going to take a lot of work, and you're going to need outside help. You're going to need the help of a counselor. You're going to need the help of someone to come in and get you back on the right track. It's not something, unfortunately, that you're going to be able to do on your own, but with wise counsel and having God in your lives, then guess what? God is there to take away the pain. God is there to take away the hurt and to let you know that there is going to be light at the end of this tunnel, that this one incident doesn't need to spoil that which God has in store for you, and you can come back together again in unity, in strength and in love, and make this work and have a strong and lasting marriage. However, it is going to take work. It is not a one-day quick fix. It is going to take both parties coming together to agree to work that we're going to save the marriage. Some of the indicators that I want to bring to our attention today, and I want to speak to you that you can understand and know that even if I've said something and you think, well, my husband is doing that, he must be having an affair. No, it could be that this could just be an indicator that, you know what, something is not quite right here. Something you need to look at. There are some conversations that we know as women we need to have, but we're putting them off because we fear. And what I want you to do is to not fear or not have the fear of the worst. Don't be afraid that he is definitely doing this, but just choose the right time to go to him, because time is a great indicator. You and him have been going through whatever you're going through. Life gets in the way of things. We say and do things that we don't normally, we wouldn't ordinarily act that way or do things that way. This could be an indicator that something is wrong. He is, your husband or your spouse is acting out of what is not their norm. It seems almost as though they're acting out of themselves, and because of that, things are not going right between you. Conversations that you used to have and things that you would both laugh at, now he sits there stony face, as if to, he's got that slap bottom face that wants to, okay, so what's going on? What's happening? Why are we arguing over something that we would ordinarily be laughing at? This could be a case of where something is wrong. And at this time, when he behaves that way, that is not the time that you speak to him and, demand wanting to know what is going on. No, this is a time where you walk away. You go away, you think about it, you give yourself the time to adjust to what has taken place. What you can do is at that moment just park it, leave it, but know that you will need to come back to it. Watch the situation and see what they do. When you feel that the time is right, then speak to your husband or spouse and ask them what is going on and hear what they say. Regardless of how bad things may seem, you must remain positive. You've got to be positive that this can be fixed, because you know what? It happened quickly enough for it to be nipped in the bud, and that's what we want to do here. There are those also where somebody could be speaking to somebody emotionally, the things that he wants to say to you, he's unable to say it to you, but somebody else has now got his ear. And that person who has got his ear now is talking to him at a, or your spouse, they're being spoken to at a level that should only be there for you. That which they're talking about, the emotion of that person meeting their emotional need, shouldn't be going on with somebody else. That is reserved for you. They are your spouse. They're the ones that you're the one that he's supposed to be speaking about this. But why is he seeking the ear of someone else? Why is someone now becoming more, someone is hearing the things that you should be hearing? This again is an indicator that something is not quite right. What is going on here? And this is where you will need to sit down with him and find out, okay, what is going on? What is going on here? Ask the hard questions. When I say ask the hard questions, I truly mean ask the hard questions. Don't go into this conversation with a accusing spirit. You're going to accuse him and berate him for things that you don't understand, things that he hasn't spoken about or done. It could just be that it's a cry of help from him to say, I need you to come back. Why? We get caught up with being with the children. We get caught up with work. We get caught up with the home. We get caught up. And sometimes we can forget that there is somebody else there who also needs us. We're